Here we go. Dreaming reality with God. Always. So welcome. My name is Joseph, and it is Tuesday, April 13th, 2021. It's 6:47 p.m. here in California. So I'm in the Pacific Standard Time slot. How's everybody being? I hope well, and I hope you're smiling. At least sometime. I thought none shall kill anybody. Or is it anything? So I'm going to obviously be continuing in some way the conversation I shared last night about the purge, the great purge is being realized. You all know what the purge is, right? Free for all. 12 hours of a free for all. Although the next movie in the installment is titled Forever Purge. So it's not just 12 hours once a year. I suspect the premise that will be followed in the upcoming film is all day, every day. I mean, where else could it go? I mean, it's called Forever Purge. And I thought, none shall kill anybody. Right? I don't think that whether you believe in the Ten Commandments and how that came into being, that thought, that doesn't really matter. It's the thought itself. And the thought is, none shall not kill anybody. And I think it would behoove one to evolve towards a thought of anything. If you're able to exist and be without the taking, well, why would you continue to take? Now, I don't know about all you all, but I got okay eyes. I need glasses to see, but I can see with glasses. I can see pretty much without. I can make do. I got ears that work. And my mind is out of here. It's just running so fast. I don't know. There's just so much being processed. That kind of brings me to this thought, but I think I'll hold on to that because I wanted to continue with, I got working facilities, my body awareness levels are off the charts. I know what I know and what I see. None of it makes sense. None of it, except for one variable. And that's the one thing that changes it all, because it's everything I dream of, and I'm pretty sure you all are dreaming of it coming true. There's always that possibility. So I'm holding on to it. I imagine all of you out there doing the same. The great majority. Because it's insane what's going on. All the lies, the deceit, robbery. I mean, there's see, the problem is the crooks know what they're doing, and the crooks are in control, and you can't talk about it. Okay? You censored. Again, these are all signs leading you to, you should be being led to anyways, a realization that you are gonna do what you're told. And you think what's going on right now is tough? I mean, it's testing a lot of people. Everything. I don't even have to say. You just know. And here's a disclaimer. I'll just put it out there. I probably should have put it out there at the very beginning. But it's here. All this. It's a story. It's a story of fiction. It's the only way it can be told. Really. Because you can't tell the truth. Don't want to hear the truth. Don't bother me with any of that. All the caca the people are perpetuating. It's growing. I'm not seeing a diminish here, people. Everything that's happening, if you step back and look at it, okay? But don't look at it like you're from around here. You have to. You really have to look at it that way. You're so under control. Mentally, your mind, subliminally, everything that has been projected out there into the conscious stream of thought has been by design. It may not look like that from where you are standing, and that's the whole point. You're not supposed to see it. Because if you did, you'd say, hey, wait a minute, hold on. There's a plan in my story of fiction, of control of a world. Could be this world, could be any world, but it's the same story of control. Controlling the world. And that the person, the observer, no, that's my role. This other person who wants control, they don't want me or anybody observing, because when you do, you realize what's going on, and you say, hey, hold on. So I, as an observer, see this person of control on this world, in this fictional story, meticulously, nothing spared, nothing wasted, preparing a plan to achieve total control of the world. Now, this world has a lot of people on it besides this one person. A lot of people. What do? That's what this person's meticulously been planning, what to do about it. It's like a virus, an infestation of cockroaches. In their mind is how they see it. Now, I know many of you don't see it that way. It's unbelievable to think that another, don't even have to be a human, just a being with such a thought, to blame you for their shortcomings, to feel the need to have to control the world. What these, because there's more than one of these minds. They got a club. They need to be talking about how to use the resources they have to change the mindset, to get the people to understand some things. It doesn't, like, and we could start with the 10 Commandments. That was a beginning attempt. And we need to go back to why that came into being. Because we need it again more than ever. But see, that's not a part of the plan. They're shutting down churches in this story. The places of congregation. Shouldn't use churches, because this is the any world. It's a fictional story. They don't want people congregating and talking. seeing what's taking place in this world, on this world, this far, far away world, in another far, far away universe. Just for clarity, I want to be clear. My story is a fictional story. Woo! It's a good story. My story has a happy ending. I know people out there hear me and would think this man, this voice is lost, has nothing worthy of being heard. It's just all nonsense and dribble, right? Again, I'm just telling a story here. If you're starting to get upset by it, well, wake up, stand up, and speak up. Nobody else is going to do it for you. The only voice outside your own is telling you what to do. Think about this for a moment. I'm going to come back to Earth, and I'll get back to my story of fiction. I'm coming back down to Earth. I'm grounding myself in this reality. And do you understand that the speed of computer processing is just, we hit the ball out of the galaxy. Just, you gotta understand the steps we're taking. We can now use a computer, input some variables, and a question that needs solving. And with the current technology that you all are used to using, your computer, your desktop, laptop, phone, that kind of computing speed, even the fast, supercomputers, 10,000 years. Okay? Is that clear in your mind? It would take 10,000 years to solve a problem using the current methods that this world is built upon, or we use, aside from one new technology that over the last years, decade, then some, fairly new, obviously, because most don't know. They're hearing about it, hearing about the word quantum computers. You can take that same question that you put to the computers that we're all used to, and it would take 10,000 years, but you put it into the quantum computer, and you're talking minutes. Okay? From 10,000 years down to minutes. So imagine how much you can now put in front of a quote-unquote computer, and it can solve questions, lots and lots of questions. Now, you may give it a question that it took 10,000 years, but say, you don't want to focus all your attention on 10,000 years. Let's focus on now. Okay? Right now. How much can these computers process about now, or a year worth into the future? How much can it process? I'm here to tell you, people, these systems, these AI, they're all connected, and they're connected to this D wave. D wave is one of the big, I think that's where I came to know about quantum computers. There's others now. Anyway, the quantum computers. I know people don't want to think or hear about this kind of thinking, but that's why they have these systems to do it for them. They don't need you. Okay? You get it? They don't need you. They have these computers that can do all the thinking that you could ever do, and then some. As far as calculating out probabilities. And these systems thrive on logic, which I have that quality in common with it. I don't down artificial intelligence for that. I mean, I have my concerns, but I understand that because I feel the same. I thrive on logic. Okay? Now, when you have a problem that's put before a system, and you put in all the variables, and you have to remember it's sterile. Okay? There's no prejudice, no races, none of that is involved in the calculating of the probabilities. It's just data. It is what it is, and it uses it. And I'm telling you, these systems are looking at what's going on or on the world, on this world, and looking for solutions. How do you fix it? Okay? Now, these are not thinking machines. Okay? They don't feel. Because that's what our problem is. There's this feeling thing that's beyond a set parameter of instructions, because that's all an AI is. It works off of that principle of instruction. Sure, it can learn and grow, but at the base, at the core. Anyway, if a system is looking for a solution, and it says, which is what I believe it's saying, and I don't think that it's because it's making the wrong answers, it's because it's using logic. The problem is humans, okay? Right now, at this moment in time, the problem for the Earth, the biggest problem for the planet as a whole, is humans. It is. And it's serious. Why? I don't question why we're in this moment of everything that's going on. You know, you got Mr. Bill Gates, and I made it very clear last night. Well, you know, on one hand, he's this person that is very upfront about his views and public about his views when it comes to world population. There's too many. Okay? He recognizes there's a problem with humans right now. His view is there's too many, so we need to work on depopulating. But then, on the other hand, you have the Bill Gates that wants to save the world. He's going to vaccinate you. Okay, he has his, you know, we all know that CNN will tell you that. So if you want to censor me right now for even talking about it, then you're censoring CNN, I guess. Then I know I'll get the hint for sure. I mean, this whole moment in time right now is a bunch of caca. And I think when the storm clears, because we're in the storm, we ain't hit the peak yet, but we're in it. And when it all clears, I think you're going to find a lot of people that are going to be very, very ashamed of themselves. And I can't speak for another. I'd like to say that I hope it's not too late when they come to that point and realize the error of their way. You're on your own, really, all of you. And that's how the system is looking at you. It doesn't look at you with feeling. It looks at you as a variable in an equation that needs to be solved. How do you solve the equation? Well, if you take out this variable or lower it, that could work. But see, the system doesn't, it can only do so much, and it can say, yeah, that's a way, but it doesn't calculate the human. That's why you see this right now. Well, you want it. It's like you can't be a man or a woman. You can't say man or a woman. Humans are bad. Just, it's all bad. That's the image that's right now is just you're being drenched in it. There's no more common sense. Very little. I'm telling you. The quantum systems, the computers that they have set up that can calculate, they can solve a problem in minutes that used to take 10,000 years. I mean, that's just like, wow. Wow. That's a huge jump from minutes to 10,000 years. It's a huge chunk of time. These systems are I mean, the people that are running them are getting back the data, and the data they're seeing. I mean, I think a lot of people are wondering, why now? Why is this all happening? And the insanity, the lies, the stamping out of truth, the ability to have a forum to speak truth, being dictated, that the truth is now dictated by the corporations. I mean, that's just, it is what it is. Politicians, here, let's get into a little bit of some politicians for a moment here. Because politicians, they really do. They cater to select peoples. Because how can they not see what I see here? All could see. It's out. I'm not exclusive. It's not imaginary. It's something that all are seeing, can see. Where are they? Why don't they see all these things that are all happening that I... Are they that disconnected from the people they serve? That's why I think that they cater. They cater to select peoples. Because the things I see are happening to the majority of people, so it's not like you can't. It's just insanity. It's insanity. It's all leading to the Great Reset, right? Biden thing. Sorry, I cannot refer to something that I don't recognize. And then, plus, you're told not to, you can't be a man or a woman, So I've come to months ago thing. It's a thing. If you don't know what to call something, you call it a thing. And I don't know what to call these things. The things I've lived in a lifetime referring to them as, we all have referred to them as, are now being taken away from us. We're scolded. How dare you? Now, today, how dare you? Just that thought. There was a day when a person could have such a thought. How dare you? And that should be left to no more. Not today. We're a world, a mindset of realization, making it happen. Right? Am I wrong? I don't think so. I see a whole lot of inhumane going on, and it's amazing because you have the Democrats that say they are fighting for the injustices of human beings, and that's why they want the borders open. We got to bring them in, despite what Biden thing has said. on that whole matter. I never said that, and he did say that. I love seeing the clip where you see the two back to back. Him saying he didn't, and him saying. That don't get any better. I mean, that's all you need, really. Just that, what is it, like 30-second, minute, I think, at most. The two clips together. And that should be all one needs to come to, I think, a final and firm answer in their mind. Determination. You know, it's you solved it. You know. Really. I mean, there's been a number of things like that, though, over the years that just come across my desk, my mind, and I think, wow, that'll do it. That'll be it. The eyes will be wide open, and it never comes to be. Never comes to be somehow. So who knows? I feel like right now, this moment in time, it's everything in. And I'm going to shift gears now. I'm going to go back to my story of fiction. This other world where this person, this being wants to control the world, own the world, have the whole world. And they're not alone, and there's all these others, and they also had computer systems too in this story, in this far, far away universe. And the computers were giving them a guideline. 2025, 2028, ring any bells, wink, wink, guideline, the computers helping to solve a problem. And so they set out. These people, these beings on this world, following the mandate given to them by their new bestest friends, these computers, these thinking computers. The easiest way the computers told them was manipulation. And you can't rush. This is meticulous. Must be followed. Exactly. It's like making a cake. Need the right ingredients and all that jazz, or you don't get a cake. Manipulation. You get the people to kill themselves. That's to war. To war. You get the people to war. And you know what? No, I'm starting to change stories there, and I want to stick to the other universe. I'm in this other universe. Yeah, so manipulation. The system was like, use manipulation, get them to do it to themselves, and and help them along the way. Give them the tools. Provide them with what they need to bring about this war. Now, it wasn't us. We didn't have anything to do with this. Look, they did it themselves. You confuse them, the system said. Get them confused. Get them wondering, what am I? Who am I? Where did I come from? How did I come to be? Am I this way or that way? I'm not sure. Oh, get the goosebumps. Yeah. I just realized that I didn't play music for you guys. Last night I didn't get to listen, but I played it. It wouldn't let me listen. Yeah. Maybe just knowing that the music is now playing and you guys can hear that get me to change gears. I could go on and on and on about this story. And it's an easy story to write. Everything is just there in my mind somehow. I just seem to know how the story goes. It's funny. So I'm going to change gears for the night because I'm only here for another 18 minutes and my hour. Yep, you heard right. 1 hour is my max allowed per day. No more longer than an hour streams. And I'm very careful, obviously. I'm very, very careful. I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm telling the story. First of all, it's a fictional story. Because it's the only way it can be told. And it takes place in a far, far away galaxy. No, universe. That's how far away. Any similarities? You know, all the mentionables at the end of a film. They're all there at the very, very end of the movie. That last few seconds. Just reminding you, it's all fiction. And any similarities is just, that's all coincidence. It's just, you keep so much going on, the odds and all that good jazz. I'll come back to my story another night and expand upon it. I'm going to switch gears, like I said, and talk about some UFOs. Anytime I have the UFO up there on the title, that means I'm going to talk about UFOs. At some point in the stream, it's going to be there. So I don't put UFO in the title all the time, because what I'm talking about is much bigger than UFOs. I guess it's better. It would be better to say how I look at it. I don't. First of all, UFOs, the acknowledgement or the realization that you are not alone, that is the biggest story ever, short of birth. And then a moment when you began to understand you were who you are, and began to grow. That's another great moment. A connection with everything, God. That's another great moment in one's life. And then this. You are not alone. That's huge, okay? I mean, it's monumental huge. It's hard to talk about, I think, the subject, because I don't want to take away from what's going on in the world and everything else that's happening. I can totally understand why people would look at me and say, why would you be spending your time thinking about such things when there are things that need to be taken care of here already, right now. I think why I can allow myself to not feel guilty is that I can't change what's in play. It's designed that way. And I do believe that it's human minds. They may, and most likely, probably, may even feel connected to what they believe is a higher power. Evil. I just say it, evil is what it is. That's where they're at. Now it's starting to stray and then get back into the UFOs. People. Are they people? I'm going to keep saying this, that the government does not know much. I really don't think the government knows a whole lot as far as whoever is operating. They may have technology back engineered, that's bandied around a lot. That may be. But as far as the intelligence itself, I don't see it. I don't see it. And you know why don't I know that? Because I feel like I know this intelligence. I can say that. I will say that. I am saying that. I know this intelligence. And I know that if this intelligence was approaching the government, the first thing it would request would be world declaration. This is that one moment that demands world declaration. You have to tell everybody. You tell everybody, and then that makes it official, and we will begin a discourse, a dialogue, a conversation. But until that time comes, there's no point, because that has nothing to do with us, what we represent. It's the opposite. It is what it is. Government's afraid. They are. They're afraid because they don't know what it is. It's the enemy. By God. I say be wary of a government who says it is in contact with any ETs. That is, I don't see it. It's not how you do it. People want to see this, to believe it, to know that it is. And they will, once your governments have enough respect for you to handle a truth. Is it the truth? I can't speak to that. But it is a truth. This government, its mindset is so warped and twisted, perverted, selfish, arrogant, and not as bright as it thinks it is. If it were, we would have solved all these problems of the world. I like listening to Stephen Greer, Dr. Stephen Greer, who's been into the search for decades, and I resonate with him on many levels, as far as whatever this is, the people, the beings, whatever, behind what we see, what little we are allowed to see. That there's something there behind it, and it's of a mindset that has no associations with a military mindset, because there's no need for a military. Okay? You don't need a military. See, it's all the greed, the money. Maybe I should, tomorrow I'll stream, I'll just talk about money and how that's just ripping us all apart. Money. I want to keep talking about UFOs, or I don't even like calling it UFOs. I know they try to switch it to UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena. I don't know what to call it. Get to that point, I guess. If you knew you were actually seeing things, what do you begin to call them? Because they're not unidentified on some level. I don't think about the physical nature of the phenomena very much. Not as much as I used to. I think there's a very big mental part that plays into this equation of being. And we've just barely tapped the surface. Used to be space. It's the final frontier. I think it's the mind is the next frontier. It stretches beyond space. Space is kind of confining, really. Physically, you have to deal with the distances and all that good stuff, right? So it's kind of confining. Now, if you're moving about in a mental state, this is where the whole AI stuff and the virtual reality kind of becomes very trippy, because it's putting forth to one some questions, about reality and, well, what's the difference? I guess it's like a dream. Virtual reality. I should do a stream about just that. There's so much. It's hard to talk about any of this, because it's one piece of many. So you just hear one piece, and it's hard to come away with the bigger story, because you're only hearing a little piece of it. But I keep going and putting these thoughts here, streaming my thoughts here. I've always said it's for the record, for my record. I believe I have a relationship with this intelligence. I believe you do too. I believe we all do. I talked about last night how you project energy, a wave of energy. We all do, and it's all intermingling with itself. And I feel that with this new life for all practical purposes. Because it's new, we haven't known about it for the most part. Although it's been there throughout our entire history. Elements of something there beyond. And a knowing. I think we're going to find out all that you need to know. I know people want to know everything. I've made it very clear many times in various streams that I've done here over the past year and a few months. And even before that, when I had my other channels. Oh, now I just had a brain fart. Because I've been continually looking at that clock. See, I don't want to stop. But I must. Because of YouTube. I have my issues with YouTube. And I don't mind putting my thoughts out there. One thing about me, I'll tell you what I'm thinking or what I'm feeling. an observation, and I've always felt that's fair. That's what I'm supposed to do. That's what anybody in my situation, which could be anybody, does. And then it's up to the other side, the other part, to pick up from there. Then comes back to me, and hopefully I learn. We all learn. But see, that doesn't happen these days. That's not the way it works. I'll show you. Remember I said earlier in the beginning of the stream, that mindset? It's a very bizarre world. I like it in a way because it makes it easy for me to talk about the things I talk about, which are out of this world. I am so disconnected from this reality. My interest level with the goings-ons of planet Earth they hold very little interest to me. I'm sorry. If it hurts you to hear me say that, or if it bothers you, I apologize. It's an observation on my part, being truthful with where I sit with myself in relation to this world. Not that I don't want to have a more beneficial view, but I feel like that's gone. It's never going to be. It's unobtainable anymore. It's not going to happen. We're headed down a certain path, and unless I see people waking up, standing up, speaking up, I don't see any change in the path that we're on. And it ain't a good path. I mean, when you're told you can't talk about what you see, it don't get any clearer. The signs should be screaming at you to wake up, stand up, and speak up. Because you're not going to be able to. Not for long. They're coming for you. They are. They don't want you here. Are you listening? I'm not the one telling you this. They're telling you this. The people that are censoring you, those people are telling you. Why? Because they allow the people that are saying these things to be shared. They're not being censored. Population control. Too many people. They don't know what to do. How do you fix it? I don't know. Well, we got to do something. I agree. Well, what do we do? I don't know. Are you listening? They'll never do anything other than what they are doing. That's their plan. And I could bring, as I begin to close this one down, I could bring the UFO into it, because if they did want to do something, they could start there. Let's just go full out bombshell. The truth, all of it. Because that would change the world. Everybody would be a part of the experience, because that's what it's about. All of us together in a way we never imagined, or maybe we only could imagine, and that stopped us from going any farther. You need to tell the people, like today. I'm serious. The opportunity is there, but they won't, because that's not a part of their plan. You and I and the great majority are not a part of this plan. Okay, I gotta slow down. Get my mind off of it, but that'll never happen. That's why I say I think that's why I feel the way I do when it comes to interacting with this world. I'm so disconnected from it, lost. And I keep coming back to you're on your own. Really. All comes down to you. Till next time. Be well. And try, if you're not already, smiling. Does a mind and a soul so much good. Thanks for coming.